Welcome to this week's Smackdown Recap. As always in these recap videos, we go over everything you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I give my thoughts on the show, and at any point in the video, you guys can leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. But as always, before we get anywhere in any video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, and go follow the socials. The links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account, do all that helps me a ton. But now let's get you guys straight on into today's Smackdown Recap. Alright, so we kicked off the show with Cody Rhodes. So he comes out, obviously says, what do you want to talk about? Inevitably, that does lead us to him talking about his opponent next Saturday at Saturday Night's main event. Obviously, that being Drew McIntyre. Then we see Drew McIntyre come out, and pretty much what he has to say is that we, the fans, we are stuck in corporate Cody's propaganda. And then he says that we just continue to cheer him week after week, even though last week he bashed me in the head and all the other crap that he's done. We still continue to cheer Cody. And then that brings us to Drew McIntyre bringing up Jacob Fatu, because obviously last week Jacob Fatu was attacked before the number one contender match between Drew and Fatu to determine the number one contender for Cody's title. So McIntyre brings up Jacob Fatu, and then pretty much he says that, you know, I saw you, Cody, I saw you talking to Jimmy Uso back there before you came out here. You know, maybe it was him, kind of just trying to throw shade, but obviously he's still defending himself and saying that it's not him. And honestly, I really definitely believe that it wasn't Drew McIntyre. And honestly, what if there's a major twist and maybe Cody Rhodes attacked Jacob Fatu? Now, I don't know why he would, but maybe he did. I don't really know. I'm just throwing that out there, but maybe that's just me. But then that does lead into Jimmy Uso coming out attacking Drew McIntyre. And I mean, that's really it, bro. That's really it. It was nothing crazy opener. It was nothing groundbreaking, nothing really special. And honestly, if you missed this, I don't think you missed much. I feel like we could have done more with this opener, but really it just led to really nothing, man. Nothing super special happened here, if you ask me. So overall, it's just a mediocre opener. I wouldn't consider it anything any groundbreaking at all. Alright, now we jumped into the MFTs of Tama Tonga and JC Mateo versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes, I called him Nakamura because that's what I'm going to keep calling him because it's just funny. And Rey Fenix. But let's get to the point here. It's just a kind of whatever match, man. I barely paid attention because as soon as I saw that the returning MFT is going up against Rey Fenix and Shinsuke Nakamura, I'm like, why are we having them go up against these guys, though? The MFT should be focused on the Wyatt Six right now, so I don't really know why we're having them face Rey Fenix and Shinsuke Nakamura, even though they just returned. I feel like you would want to boost the MFT instantly, seeing as, like I said, they just returned. So I don't know really what we're doing there. I didn't even watch last week's episode of Smackdown, so maybe I'm missing something. But I guarantee I'm probably not the only one that feels this way. Just overall, I don't know why we're having the MFT go after these two. It's just very kind of random, if you ask me. Inevitably, though, we did see the MFT won, which was good. Honestly, if Shinsuke and Rey Fenix won this one, it would be kind of sad, if you ask me, because I mean, I'm assuming mostly everybody can understand why. So I'm not going to keep talking about this for too much. That's really all you got to know. Now, obviously, I would assume this probably isn't going to turn into anything major. But yeah, I really don't know why we're having the MFT face these guys. I don't know why, but yeah, that's all you got to know. Alright, and now we jumped into Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James, and honestly, man, this match was actually pretty solid from an in-ring perspective. I actually think this match was very freaking solid. I think these women both did great in this match, and overall, yeah, it was just a solid match in my opinion. There was nothing, like, terrible about this match, except, I mean, no, there really wasn't anything terrible about this match, man. It was just two women having a good-ass match, if you go ask me. So, it wasn't anything crazy, no, but it was definitely pretty freaking solid in my opinion. Inevitably, though, obviously we did see the women's champion Tiffany Stratton retain, and then we would see a post-match attack from Julia, and she would attack Tiffany Stratton, which inevitably then led to the return of Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill comes out, and then she helps out Tiffany, or so we thought. I mean, she gets Julia off of Tiffany, and then she raises Tiffany's hand, but then we see the major heel turn from Jade Cargill. She turns heel and just goes becomes ruthless on Tiffany Stratton, rams her into the steel steps, just pretty much ruthlessly attacks Tiffany Stratton, and then we see the Jade Cargill heel turn. She goes back in the ring, picks up the title, and then that is the end of that. So most notably, yes, this match was good, but most notably, the Jade Cargill heel turn. That is really what you need to know here. And then to top it all off, man, we pretty much got a look at what our WWE Women's division is going to be, or our WWE Women's Championship division is going to be for probably the next month or so over on SmackDown. It's obviously going to be Tiffany Stratton, it's going to be Jade Cargill, and I'm assuming it's most likely going to be Julia. So those three women, I think, I know those women can have great matches, but I think the one thing to worry about is just depending on how much WWE really wants to build up those storylines, but we'll have to wait and see. But considering this overall match, it was definitely very freaking solid. Alright, man, and next up, we moved into a very, very awesome match, in my opinion. We moved on to Ilya Dragunov defending his United States champion in his first U.S. Open challenge against Aleister Black. And overall, man, this was a very, very freaking awesome match, dude. I think this match was a lot better than what we saw between Sami and Aleister. I think with Ilya Dragunov in there, it made it a whole lot better. And that's not to say anything against Sami. I just don't think Sami and Aleister really clicked, like we saw, or like Ilya and Aleister did tonight. You know, that's not to go say hate on Sami, because Sami's really good in the ring, man. I just don't think him and Aleister really click. But back to this match, man. These dudes put on a very, very awesome match. But as we progressed to the final moments of this match, we did see we saw the referee throw out Zelina Vega, because obviously Zelina Vega was ringside to support Aleister. While that was happening, we also saw Damian Priest come out, and he watches Ilya Dragunov pick up the win and defeat Aleister Black. And then we see Damian Priest go in the ring, and he starts attacking Aleister in the post-match attack, and then inevitably he gets him on the announcer's table, puts a chair under his head, gets another chair, and he's gonna obviously go and pretty much just try to do a concerto to Aleister. But then we do see Zelina. She jumps on top of Damian, and she just kind of rakes at the bad eye of Damian, because obviously, remember, weeks ago we saw a fireball from Zelina to Damian Priest, so you know his eye was all messed up. So Zelina just kind of blinds him by raking at his eye, and then Aleister and Zelina get away. But overall, what I think this match and segment tonight did is just showed us what our United States division is most likely going to be over the next few weeks. It's probably just going to be Ilya, of course, Aleister Black, and Damian Priest, which I'm very freaking hyped for. And obviously, there could be changes to that, but I think just those three guys, I think overall is going to make for a great next month, in my opinion, for the men's United States title, which is freaking awesome, man. But overall, going back to just this match, it was a very, very awesome match, in my opinion, man. Very freaking awesome. Alright, now we made it to our main event of the night between Drew McIntyre and Jimmy Uso, and this match was a no disqualification. It started off hot, man. Jimmy Uso doesn't even get to the ring, and we already start the match, man. We don't even get in the ring, the match already starts, and it's like that from start to finish, man. Just overall, a very, very solid freaking match, in my opinion. We had weapon use, obviously, because it was no disqualification. I love weapons matches, so as you can expect, I'm freaking love this match. So when we got to the end of the match, we would see Jimmy Uso deliver a Samoan drop to Drew McIntyre through a table, and then Jimmy Uso goes to the top rope, gonna go for the Uso splash, but inevitably we see that super side of Drew McIntyre. He gets up, grabs a chair, throws it in the face of Jimmy Uso, hits that Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3, match is over, and then we see a post-match attack by Drew on Jimmy. Then we see Cody Rhodes come out, who is who Drew faces next week at Saturday night's main event, and that being Cody Rhodes. Inevitably, though, from that, and then we see Cody and Drew brawl, and then inevitably from that, we do see Drew McIntyre stand tall. Now, whether that will be the case at Saturday night's main event, we will have to find out. But overall, I really enjoyed this main event, and man, I just cannot wait for that match at Saturday night's main event between Cody and Drew. It is going to be so awesome. But just considering this main event, it was very, very freaking awesome. Alright, everybody, we have now reached the end of this week's SmackDown recap, and just going off of this episode of SmackDown, I think for the most part it was decent. I don't think there was anything that was majorly groundbreaking except for that heel turn, and the main event was pretty good as well. But other than that, it wasn't anything too special, so it'll give it decent at best, in my opinion. But as always, be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, before we get out of here, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, and go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account, do all that. I host me a ton, but I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace. My dream broke.